same church, they tend to feel like the same family.
Okay, so I see the sense of oneness, the sense of coming together, and being one. That doesn't really happen so much in the city, but in the villages you get that togetherness, getting a group coming together on a regular basis, a homogeneity.
And trusting themselves with each other.
They can trust each other. Yeah, that's right. Okay, well that's very interesting. So you've been working with churches doing that. Yes.
Yes, and we have at the moment 35 groups, but these groups are essentially made up of 15 to 30 people. If it gets beyond 30 people, you break it up. They agree to come and save on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, and the share ratio is always 1 to 5. If you bring the least amount of money, $10, the highest can never bring more than $50.
Oh.
So they still stick within the same amount. But one of the group, which is even in my own church, was made up of 24 people. And in a period of 8 months, these guys had $10,000 in the kitty.
Really? Wow.
And that 10,000 was including a 23% increment in their share ratio. So for every $2 they had gotten an extra 23%.
So were these people surprised?
We were sharing this information on our party. We had a barbecue, our own side of kind of a barbecue.
Well, they must have been amazed because they've never seen this kind of money ever.
Actually, to most of them, it was the first saving account they have ever lent that long.
I think it must be amazing for these folk. How do you keep this kind of security? How do you keep them?
We tell them from the word go that you are self-selected.
Uh-huh.
This particular padlock, this particular case, has 3 locks. Each one of the lock is owned by one person. He keeps all the key.
So there's sort of three
signatures.
People. I see 3 signatures like on a check.
Yes, on a check. So when they come, they open their box. They have a committee. They have a secretary, the record keeper. He's in charge of making sure that they keep. And they have money counters to make sure that they're not getting fake money or money that cannot be used. The thing is, they own the thing. We don't touch their money.
Yes.
All we do is to come in and offer the training. Make sure that they govern by the rules they've written themselves. As long as they stay on that course, we will okay. So we are just arbiters, never owning the money. So when the group meets, it's saved for 8 months, it dissolves, it shares its money. Then they go back to 0. Then they start again. But for our role as CIB, as Christian business, just stops there.
Say that again. It meets for a certain period of time.
8 or 12 months.
And then
they get whatever they have collected in terms of the repayments, in terms of the savings, and they share it out.
Oh, okay.
They share the interest and with the share that they have accumulated. So they go back to 0 and start again.
I see. So the amount people put in is how much they get out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't get more than that.
No, that's interesting. So it's really helping develop capital to help people move their small businesses forward.
I have testimonies of people that have withdrawn from microfinance institutions to concentrate on this.
Really? Yeah.
Because even in churches, if people get out of the church and they know that they will ask for $500, and I've seen loans of $700 in these groups. They collect the money. You can only borrow 3 times your money, but I have seen loans of $700 going out to a single individual. So they know they will get this money. They will be able to go and use it and bring it back. And the most important aspect that they know that if something befell them, if they had an unfortunate incident, they will be forgiven. We have, yes.
How does that happen?
The groups understand each other. They know
Yes.
who pays and they know who they don't. They know who doesn't want to pay. So if your business got burnt, your store got burnt, you won't have to pay. They will forgive you. And because the interest they earn on the money is high, which is also a form of saving, it mitigates such scenarios. I have seen them happen. Someone failed to pay to a loan of $250, and the group still made a 20% increment on their shares.
That's very interesting. So some banks, many banks, are just not interested in people earning a little bit of money and giving them a loan. And when they do, they charge a high interest. Some banks are giving, what, 30%? charging 30% interest?
30%. When you are a formal institution, if you are a non-formal institution, you expect to pay anywhere between 36% and 50%.
Wow, which can just really kill and cripple any possibility. Now, you mentioned borrowing money from family, from neighbors. Can you just, and you mentioned other forms of credit, can you just talk a little bit more about other forms of credit and ways of getting money? Can you just talk a little bit about that?
In the business training, when we're delivering the training, when we reach at that level, when we teach people about business financing, I normally tell them that there are 4 ways how you can finance a business. The first one is your pocket. Mm-hmm. If you have savings in your pocket, that's good. You can find it because no one will be chasing you. The interest will go back to you. But I also caution them that even if it's your money, make sure that the business pays it back because originally it wasn't its money. So I mentioned that. Then I tell them that the second way you can generate funding is to look at your friends and relatives. That's the second option you have.
Yes.
If you look at that, you look at the relatives, they know you. If you have a good plan, they probably will be able to stand with you. Then the third way to look at financing a business is what I call trade credit. Trade credit is relying on suppliers to finance you with inventory. They bring you, if you are selling charcoal, they bring you bags of charcoal, you sell and pay back. So, but I caution them, it is important to settle your debts, your obligation to the trade creditors, because they give you interest-free loan. It's an interest-free loan.
So basically, you're going to the charcoal supplier, and you're getting the charcoal, going and selling it, making a profit, and then paying them back. But you're really getting the charcoal on an advance, based on your reputation. So basically, you're getting...
Actually, internationally, it is, but these people don't realize how powerful that is. Actually, I call it one of the best forms of credit. Because you get, as long as you pay on time, they will trust you with more inventory, and you'll be able to keep your business going. But the last one that we mentioned is going to get loans, either from microfinance or from any interest-bearing loan, is what we mentioned as last resort.
Livingstone, that's very interesting.